Alright guys, what's going on? It's Kage. And welcome to today's video where I'm going to be going over my Dueling Dragon card fight deck profile for you guys. So this deck was one of my first Morikumo decks. Actually, this was my first Morikumo deck I ever got. And while I've mainly switched over to Yasue, which in my opinion, is a better deck, this deck is still really fun to play. And yeah, let's get into the deck profile. So starting off, we are of course running our starter being Stealth Beast Cat Devil. It can be whatever starter you want, has the standard Vieira skill. So the triggers, this one's a little different from my other ones. I am running 4 normal crit. And I'm running 2 Sentinel crit, so it's a 6 crit deck. I am running 4 fronts. Wait, no, not 4 fronts, my bad. 6 fronts. Those 2 overlooked me for a second. And then 4 heals. So yeah, this deck is a little more different than what I normally run for my trigger ratio. This is more of my for fun deck, so I'm not too concerned about it, being like super competitive. And I would like to run a 4 crit win. Nah. You can run draws, I would recommend it, but I just don't have any spares. Next, moving on to the grade 1s. I am running 4 copies of Backwards Arrestor. And Backwards Arrestor says, auto rear, when it boosts a right or left arrestor, if you have a vanguard with Dueling Dragon in its card name, Soul Blast 1, and the unit gets boosted, and the boosted unit gets plus 10. So, the one thing I will say about about the Dueling Dragon deck is I feel like once you've seen one, you've essentially seen all of them. I feel it's a very cookie cutter deck, but yeah. Next, I am running 4 copies of Jamming Impeder, and Jamming Impeder says auto rear at the end of the battle that it boosted a Vanguard. Soul Blast 1, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 right arrestor or left arrestor from among them, put it to your hand, shuffle the deck. So this can help you get your missing piece, because the whole gimmick is you ride Zumbaku, and then you lock your opponent from being able to ride and stand their Vanguard. And yeah. Next I am running 2 copies of Stealth Beast Leaf Raccoon. And Leaf Raccoon says when placed, one of your units gets plus 3, and that's an auto van or rear. So just additional power. And then 2 grade 1 PGs. Next, moving on to the grade 2s. I am running 4 copies of Left Arrestor. Left Arrestor says auto rear when it attacks a Vanguard. If you have another rear guard with Arrestor in its card name, Soul Blast 1, and so it gets plus 5 until the end of the battle. This is mainly to facilitate your Dueling Dragon plays. Next, I am running 4 copies of Right Arrestor. Right Arrestor says, when placed, if your Vanguard is Dueling Dragon Zumbaku, and if you have another card with Arrestor in its card name, Counterblast 2, put a card from hand to soul, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and that unit cannot stand on your opponent's next stand phase. So this, again, it's a pretty control deck. It's more of a control variant that I'm running, which I think Dueling Dragon has always been control. Whereas Yasue is more aggro. And then I am running 3 copies of Central Arrestor. And this says continuous rear if it is in the back row of the middle column, so basically when it's behind the vanguard. This unit can attack the vanguard from the back row. And if you have a vanguard with Dueling Dragon and its card name, this unit gets +5 for each of your other units with Arrestor in their card name. So basically our whole grade 2 lineup is all Arrestor to help with this. And again, that's why I said I feel like once you've seen one, you've seen them all. Alright, now moving on to the grade 3s. Starting off, I am running 4 copies of Dueling Dragon Zanbaku. Dueling Dragon Zanbaku says, act once per turn, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and also it's a van. Act van once per turn, counterblast soul blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 card with the Arrestor in its card name, call it to rear guard, shuffle your deck, and this unit gets +5 until the end of the turn. If right Arrestor and left Arrestor are on your rear guard circle, your opponent cannot ride a grade 3 or greater from grade 3 on his or her next ride phase. So this doesn't stop superior ride, so this doesn't really stop, like the Thavis or like Gear Chronicle, because they can go up to, because they can just superior ride the grade 4s. So superior rides, it doesn't really stop, but also too, this was early Vanguard Vieira. Next, I am running 3 copies of Dueling Dragon King Zangeki. And Zangeki says continuous van. If left Arrestor is in your front row, this unit gets +5. If right Arrestor is in your front row, this unit gets +1 crit. And then continuous van. If your soul has a card with Dueling Dragon and its card name, your opponent can only call grade 0s from hand to Guardian. So again, this is kind of like a lockdown card. It also kind of plays into the aggro theme, but not as much. Plus it makes you have both left and right Arrestor, which can sometimes be a problem. Your opponent will try to knock those out as quick as possible. And then last but certainly not least, I am running 3 copies of Dueling Dragon. Oh boy, I'm gonna mess this up. Zantenhu? I have no bloody idea how to pronounce this. It's the blue Dueling Dragon. There, let's make it that easy. Continuous van during your turn, all of your units with Arrestor in their card name get power +5. So if you have Central Arrestor, that can become a +10. Plus whatever you have from every, well, just not that. You can also get a +5, so +15 if you have left, right, and then this card. And then it says act van rear once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Dueling Dragon and its card name, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone. Search your deck for up to 2 cards with Arrestor in their card names. Call them to the rear guard and shuffle your deck. And then you don't perform a damage check. But yeah, that is it for my Dueling Dragon deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is a very fun deck, I'm not going to lie. This was my first introduction to the Murakumo deck, and overall I feel it's a very simplistic way to get into it, just due to the fact that it's not really hard to understand. It's just you want Arrestors and you Plus, it's a good way to teach people how to manage their resources. Also, I said this in my last video, so I think the rocket deck should be out before this one. I want to give a shout out to my friend Adam Plays TCG. He and I are actually good friends in person, and I think I'm part of the reason he got involved in the card game stuff for YouTube. Me and him, like I said, me and him are good friends. I'm going to try to record some videos of us playing Vanguard and Yu-Gi-Oh together, and then posting that on the channel. And then the next video I'm planning on doing is the How to Vanguard series again. I'm going to start that back up, as stated in my previous video. I will link his channel down in the description of this video. I really recommend you go check him out. He is pretty cool. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Later.